Welcome to the elven necropolis of Helmar. Deep inside these unhallowed catacombs, the mad elven king lies locked in his golden sarcophagus, his spirit trapped between this world and the next. In a desperate bid for immortality, the king made a terrible pact with the outer darkness, bringing certain doom on himself and his loyal subjects. Now, their spirits too have been forever sealed in sarcophagi scattered across the necropolis, and their plight has caused vile corruption to seep into the surrounding lands. To save the realm, you must find and set their spirits free, and vanquish any foul fiends standing in your way.
Okay, hopefully that wasn't too loud. The audio mix there on that opening tends to be on the loud side, and unfortunately does not seem to be affected by the gameplay volume. But this is Demeo. Please forgive me, as it's been a while since I've done any V reviews, and also I have a lot to say about this game, which is also what prompted me to make this video. So, this is, I'll just go ahead and start off by saying this is a really great game, in my opinion, for the simple fact that if you have ever wanted that old-timey classic role-playing Dungeons and Dragons experience with the maps and the characters and the dice and all that stuff, but didn't have the time, didn't have the money, didn't have, like me, didn't have the friends who were either interested or available to do that stuff, this is the perfect game for you. I would almost say it's like an arcade version of Dungeons and Dragons. And yes, I know there was an arcade game for Dungeons and Dragons, but that was a beat 'em up. Anyway, this would be the smaller, condensed, quick play version of that type of thing. So there is online play. It's apparently, or obviously, cooperative. And right now, at the time of this recording, which is June 8th of 2021, this is available on Steam and also on the Quest store, Oculus Quest store. My understanding is it will be coming to the normal Oculus, or I guess Rift platform, if you will, on PC, which of course you can access through a cable or wireless link or whatever they have set up at the time you're hearing this. But as of right now, it is just on Steam and also just on the Quest. Another thing is there's a lot of questions that I may or may not answer. The developer has a great FAQ on their site, which I will link to in the description of this video, just in case things change or there's something I didn't cover. But anyway, first of all, one of my favorite things, of course, the interactive menu, which I'll go around here a little bit. But first, quick play, just put you in a group of randos online. Host game makes sense. Join game makes sense. Whenever you do host or join a game, if you look here, there's a little placard, I guess, or nameplate on each side of the table. When you create a game, that table is assigned a number. That's how you join up with each other. In-game chat works perfectly and maybe even somewhat better than Oculus or Steam chat. So hopefully you can maybe text or direct message on some social media to get connected with people beforehand. There is progression in the game in the form of cosmetics. That can be anything from different skins for the characters, different colored dye, base plates, all that good stuff. But it is all cosmetic. There's nothing to purchase outside of the game at this time, and you can only unlock these by playing the game. If that's something that's a concern of yours, there you go. Here's where you equip those items that you've unlocked. Another thing is the mask. So obviously you can't see mine, but if you're playing with other people, they will appear around the table in the world with a mask in their hands. You can see all that. Sometimes it can get in the way, but pretty basic settings. And the basement is visible, and then tilt table. Tilt table, you will want to tilt that. That's on, it's enabled now. If you hit it, it'll be disabled. You will want to tilt table at some point. At first, when I got this, I thought that's a silly thing to do. But as you can see, we're looking at a table here, just like, a card table, or if you were playing that classic D&D, you'd be looking down at a table. Keep in mind, though, you have a display on your face, and if you're looking down constantly, I would say an average round, if you make it all the way to the end, is going to be anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 hours. Your neck is going to start to feel it. If not after about 10 or 15 minutes, then definitely the next day. So rather than constantly looking down, if you click forward on the left stick, once we're getting in the game here, it will tilt the table so that way you can look more forward and still enjoy everything you want to with the game. Um, Again, just kind of basic stuff here with languages, audio, and all that. It is very loud. Like I said, the opening is pretty on par with what the rest of the game is like. So I would recommend taking that down a bit. Sound effects is usually all right, and or music rather is really loud. Sound effects, I take that down. Then voice chat, adjust your preference. Um, then just basic stuff. There's a tutorial. It's pretty decent. There are a few things that are not covered in it that I think are vital. That table tilting is one of them, and then of course there's skirmish. Now, when you're playing online, you get one of 4 characters. You pick that character, you go, you are always that character. Your character has their own set of cards, which we'll cover, and your cards are your own. Your purchases are only for you. The gold you get is yours, and so on. When you play skirmish or solo play, you get 3 characters. You pick one. The other 2 are assigned what I believe to be randomly. If there is a pattern to it, I haven't figured it out yet. And then each character has a set of cards, but you only control the one set of the character you pick. Might not make sense. I probably explained that poorly, but I'll show you just how it goes. Okay, so first thing, as I mentioned, interactive menu. So this is the same room we were just in, very much an 80s style basement, which would be when Dungeons and Dragons was a really big thing, or at least a new big thing, I guess. You can move all around it. There's cool little things to see. Old timey computer with 5 3/4 inch floppies, all that good stuff. I won't go through all of it because you may or may not care. One thing I think is really cool though is they have this, which is showing that a new adventure is coming. I believe, quote unquote, summer is what they've said. Obviously, depending on when you're watching this, that may different. That may be different, but there are new chapters coming. Right now, there's just this one chapter or one adventure, which again, classic D&D look. You can even pick this up and get kind of a brief summary of the story from the beginning. These are the characters, or the monsters rather. So again, kind of a cool touch, just to get that same look and feel. A common thread that's going to be going throughout this review is there's a lot of detail and a lot of cool stuff and things that you probably wouldn't even think about. They have, and then they've put it in there. So moving around is kind of a grip the world, and you can turn. If you put your hands together, you zoom in. If you put your hands apart, I'm sorry, scratch that. If you put your hands together, you zoom out. You put them apart, you zoom in. And that kind of gives you the option of, if you want to do the classic, hey, we're just sitting at a table playing Dungeons and Dragons, you can kind of have this view. If you want to get kind of a more immersive experience, you can zoom, zoom, zoom all the way down so that you feel like you're actually in the dungeon, and even see things like this creepy little guy who kind of just kind of greets you as you start your journey. You can, well, not him, other characters that show up like this, you can pick them up, and we'll kind of go through all that. But again, just really cool details that you can see, even just in the stone and on the ground. But then if you're all the way back up, it just looks like a really cool tabletop game. So here are the classes. You've got your standard, what do they call him? Guardian. So that's your meat shield. You've got your sorcerer, who's your glass cannon of sorts. You have your assassin, who initially was one of my least favorite characters, and the more I play him, the more I like him. And then your elven bow, whatever guy, who's obviously mostly for range. So basically, you have 2 up close and personals, 2 range. Each one has their own specific perks. Each class has their own specific cards, which are basically power-ups or skills, and then there are some that are kind of shared between them, or at least that can show up with any of them. So this is the part, like I said, if you're playing by yourself, you select one of these. The other two are generated at random. And I think what I will do just for this, because I'll kind of go fast and loose, I'll go ahead and get the assassin, just because I'm hoping I get the other two ranged characters. We'll see what we got. And we only got one of the other two. We got the wizard, so or sorcerer rather, but that's fine. Again, you can start out here and just say, hey, cool, I got a little figurine, or you can get all the way down up in here and see your wizard, sorcerer. You can see the details on his face, his clothes. If you pick up a character, you can see their stats. You can also just kind of look on the bottom and see different cool things. This is a different base. It's a little less professional looking than the standard one. This is one I just recently unlocked. But yeah, really cool stuff. Of course, they animate a little bit. Kind of the same thing. Look around. We'll go ahead and get going. I don't expect to last very long. I will say that the hunter is a pretty versatile character, in the sense that even though it's meant to be ranged, some of the range skills are pretty powerful and just very versatile. We'll just leave it at that. So each turn you get 2 actions. An action can be either a movement, which you saw I just took one to get to here, or it could be to cast a card or a spell, which if you look at the top, it has a number to indicate how many actions it will take. Some are 0, such as this healing potion. And then as you take actions, such as attacking and things like that, this meter on the right will fill up. When it hits 100, you get another new random card, and there are treasure chests along the way, which will grant you cards as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and even though I probably won't be playing this very long for this, I am going to tilt the table. So again, left thumbstick, press forward for as many times as you want to tilt the table. I would suggest probably something like 2 or 3 at least, just so you can, again, you don't want to be looking down the whole time, because your neck will tell you very much that it does not like it. Another thing is this little beam tells you whose turn it is. If you're playing with other people, obviously their names would be ahead. You can either use your little laser pointer and pick them up and put them where you want them. I just hit myself in the head. Or if you actually want a little more precision, you can reach in and pick them up and grab them that way. So I want to open this. This will start the mission. And away we go. The dungeons.
You are reminded of your quest.
There we go. So we'll back out
Release
again.
the trapped elven spirits by destroying their corrupt keeper far below.
Okay, so if I were playing online and I wanted friends to join me, I'd say, hey, join room table 40, whatever, because that's what this one is. One thing to keep in mind is once you do tilt the table, the basement around you disappears. To me, it's a more of an immersive experience. I prefer to play a little bit lower in the game rather than way up high. It's easier to actually grab and pick things up, to me, but everyone has their personal preference. If you decide your neck be darned and you don't care, if you press down on that same left stick, you can put the table right back where it was. Again, that's something that I don't think it's in the tutorial. If it is, it's very, very brief, and I missed it. So again, we're going to zoom. I'm going to go ahead and get my tilt back. I think 3 is a sweet spot for now. And here we go. So I'm starting off. My assassin is first. He has 2 actions left. There are gold pieces. Of course, you want to pick up gold. And again, just going down to the detail, you can get right up on that gold and see everything about it. Or you can go all the way back up here where it just looks like a little pile of nothing. Fantastic, fantastic detail and design, I think. So, every level is randomly generated. These little diamond-shaped things are points of interest. A point of interest could be either a healing fountain, it could be a treasure chest, it could also be the exit. Ultimately, you are looking for one creature on this level that has a key. You want to get that key, and then you want to find the exit and get to the next level. This adventure has 2 levels that are basically like this, rather large. And then the third, which is the boss level, that is pretty standard. I don't believe that changes, and it's much smaller. I'd say it's probably about a third or a quarter of what this is, what we're looking at here. I am going to be playing fast and loose. I expect to get hurt quite a bit, but I'm not playing for keepsies here. I'm just going to go ahead and get the gold. Now, since this is my warrior, or what they call him, the not really a paladin, protector type guy, he has different cards or attacks. He has the same meter, also gets 2 actions. So first thing I want to do is open up a door with him, because if somebody's going to get hit, I want it to be him. Now, his special, I guess, feat or feature is that he can repair his armor. It does cost 1 action point, but if you look at his health here, his health bar rather, you see that he has 5 little blue marks. So his health is at 10 of 10, but he also has 5 armor. So anytime you use repair armor, no matter what that is, whether it's 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, it will repair that extra blip, or basically all of that armor again for him. So he's a good one to have burst through doors, because you don't know what's on there. There could be 10, 15, whatever creatures over here, over here. The game does scale based on how many characters are alive, but there are a lot of times where you feel overwhelmed. So right now, there is shared line of sight as far as actually viewing other monsters. So even though technically my assassin can't see these, because this guy he can see them, but he could not use any spells or skills unless he had line of sight. One thing that was not in the tutorial, which is a great thing here, is if you want to, because I have 1 action left with this guy, but I don't really want to commit all the way out there because I don't know what else is over here or how many is back here. You can pass the rest of your turn or your actions by holding the A, which is the face button closest to your thumb on your right hand or left hand, it looks like. I think that's X or Y. You just hold that down and then it will skip to your next turn. Now we're on to the sorcerer. So we have sorcerer cards and spells. His perk, I guess if you will, is zap. Again, it takes 1 turn. This card replenishes every turn, just like the repair armor does. These cards do not replenish every turn. These are basically one and dones. So that's how you know this is his perk or his main thing, because you get it back every time, but you can only use it once every turn. So you know it takes 1 action skill point. You can't do 2 zaps. You can only do 1. Sorcerers are great because of zap, because even though zap does very little damage, it does cause stun. Stun means that basically that enemy that you hit with it cannot move or do anything for 1 whole turn. You can basically get an enemy locked into stun for as long as it takes for you to either get around it or to destroy it. So just like classic D&D, anytime you perform an action such as an attack or a skill, you get a die roll here. You know, in a normal RPG or video game, this all happens behind the scenes, but this is kind of the cool benefit of a game like this, where you can actually physically grab and roll the die. A double dagger or double sword is critical hit, which means obviously it does double damage. There is also a skull, which you can barely see here because of my fingers and how I grabbed it. That is a whiff. The thing with the whiff or the miss is that not only do you not hit the target that you intended to hit, you could actually hit a friendly character and yourself. We have some friends and I have been playing, and we have literally lost the run because we killed each other accidentally due to the skull. So it is no joke. We're going to roll. You can roll anywhere. That was a critical. So he is now dead. Again, I don't want to commit too much with him. I'm going to kind of keep him protected between my 2 melee guys, so I'm going to pass the rest of his turn.
It is the enemy's turn.
And yes, I realized I did say I was going to be aggressive with this, but and maybe we'll see it later, but you can be overwhelmed pretty quickly. The assassin, his perk, if you will, is sneak. that makes him invisible for a series of turns. When I say invisible, what that means is any monster that does not already see him. So if you do that sneak in front of something, it will hit you. Otherwise, you can kind of walk freely without monsters even touching you. They can be right beside you and they still won't attack. I have exited dungeons successfully with that method. So now this guy only has 3 health. My guy can do, if I can pick him up correctly, I believe he does 3. Not sure why it's not showing me his stats. It normally would tell you his attack, but basically it's going to take me 1 to get here and then another to attack him. So I believe that I can probably kill him in 1 shot. So we're going to try. We're going to roll our dice. There's a better look at the skull. Hopefully we don't see it too much. There we go.
Go back to the abyss.
Okay, so my sorcerer can come out.
The monster.
It's monster turn. Now this guy is still stealthed, so I feel confident in making him go. I think I can kill this thing, or at least hit it. Okay, so that was a spider's nest. I probably should have paid a little bit closer attention, but I think we're okay. The thing with the spider egg is that it obviously hatches some spiders when you kill it, so you should be mindful of that. Now this is where the wizard's going to come in handy, because I can zap neither one of these guys, not line of sight. So it's all right. We're going to go here to move. Then we're going to go here to zap that one. And so he is stunned. He cannot move because I zapped him. The one that could move did actually hit my guy, but he only hit his armor, which is why you want to lead with him. Now, my assassin is still cloaked, which does 2 things. One is it will give you a bonus to attack, but then you also get another bonus anytime he hits a character from behind, a backstab. So even though this thing only has like 2 health, because I'm coming out of stealth and because it's a backstab, as long as I hit, this should definitely more than kill him. And I got a critical on top.
One quick stub.
And I'll get this one too. Wow. Yeah. So I got a double critical on 2 health things that I didn't really need to. So he is hurt. I am cautious, so I'm going to go ahead and repair armor for 1 turn. I'm going to grab this gold for the other. I'm going to use my sorcerer here to grab this chest. Chest will contain a card. Everybody gets a card at random. They don't always go to where you would want them to. For example, my sorcerer got an adamant potion, which makes him invulnerable. Really not something you'd want on a ranged hero. Probably one of these 2 would have been better. You cannot trade, so bummer deal, but hey, what can you do? So we're just going to bring him up to here.
The monsters are moving.
And there's monsters coming in this door here, so that was probably not great. Yep. Okay. Like I said, it doesn't take much to get overwhelmed. So I'm going to attack from here. Got the backstab bonus.
Don't resist.
I'm not going to front stab him, for the simple fact that if I do, I'm going to block chances of him getting on there, and that is what I want. So I'm actually going to go back into sneak.
Not a sound.
I'm going to attack with this guy. I'm going to attack him again. Now, this is where a little strategy comes in. Number 1, my wizard's hurt. Obviously, that's bad. But also, he can zap. Zap is very important because, in this case, with this creature in the way, no other creatures can get in this doorway. So I'm going to get back, so he's out of attack range, because you can attack diagonally. And then I'm going to zap, and hopefully this hits. Good. So even though I didn't kill him, I effectively stopped anything else from coming in here. And now
One quick
So
stub.
he was panicked, which means he saw his buddy die and he wanted to run away because he did not want the same fate to fall upon him. Sorry about your luck.
I will fell you all.
And I'm going to wait there. Then get my wizard back in. I am not going to hit this spider egg like a dummy. It sounded like something happened back here. So I do want to be careful. I am going to go stealth.
I'll just disappear for a bit.
Okay. Good news, bad news. We found the exit. Bad news is we don't have what we need to actually get out of the exit. So we are going to have to still do some more exploring. In the meantime, I'm going to hopefully hit this thing in the back. And now we have, yeah. So what I'm going to do here, this is if you've only got like 1 or 2 enemies, you're probably fine. When you head into a room and there's all this stuff going on, probably a good time to start using your cards. There's a limit of 10 cards. It's not showing up here, but there's a limit of 10 cards. And this is the meter, so I'm not even halfway to getting another card. Now, when you do come across enemies, especially if it's one you've never fought before, pick them up. See what their stats are. Very important too, because some of them are immune to stunned, which is a very bad thing if you have a sorcerer. You can also just get in real close and see all the really cool details. So we have ice elemental, fire elemental. There's also these little pots or lamps everywhere. There's ice, fire, and poison. I think it's called gas. As you might, those are basically literally red barrels that do explosions. So you want to be mindful of where those are located. So I have 1 action left with my meathead here. What I'm going to do is go ahead and put down a repeating ballista. This is going to do 2 things. This is going to take little bits of damage off of these guys, but it's also going to give them something else to attack that attacks automatically at the end of the round. So it's a good defense tool. I'm going to stun him because I know he can definitely do damage. And I'm going to go ahead and whack him with my stick. Obviously cool animations. Yep, so my ballista took out that guy. And it's just going to hit random targets.
Time to move those enemies.
So this thing is being moved around by this guy. Who actually... Oh, there we go. Let's see what's happening here. Enemies can miss too, and now my sorcerer's down already. Okay. He does not attack, but he can basically teleport things all around. So my sorcerer is down. You have a couple of options here. Every character starts with a healing potion. 0. You can heal another player if you're close enough. If you don't have any, or maybe you want to save it for later, you can also pick them up. It does take an action point, but they will revive with about 2 or 3 health. Maybe they can use their own healing potion. You have 3 turns until they are dead. Each time they're down, that goes down by 1. So even if I pick him up and he goes down again, he only has 2 turns. So once you're down 3 times, you're dead. So I'm not going to play to get out of this because it would take a long time, and I doubt really that you'd want to see me go through all that for that long a time. I did want to just kind of give you the idea of what the game was like, all the really cool things you can do in it, some things that are not covered in the tutorial, and really just kind of give you an idea of the type of game that it is. And if you're the type of person like I was back in the day who never really was able to get the whole true D&D experience,
that should do it.
You can maybe do that now. Poison bomb, sure, why not? Let's make everybody poisoned. And then I miss. So you spin around. Now I'm still going to throw it. It's just not going to land where I wanted it to. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and... So the thing you have to worry about elementals as well is whenever you kill them, they do splash damage of that elemental type. Just like that.
One fell swoop.
Yeah, one fell swoop indeed. So we'll just play this out. Kind of feel like we're gonna have a bad time.
Lightning smite you.
And I totally forgot about that guy. Also, I probably should have healed.
Back, I say.
Poison is pretty strong in this. Okay, so that's good. We might actually get out of this.
Let death embrace you.
I'm gonna go ahead and give his potion to the wizard, because I'm nice like that. So this is unfortunate because I don't want that spot. I don't want to stand on that spot because that will hurt me.
I'll skewer you.
And I really don't want to do this, but I have to kill him, and his splash damage is going to hurt me. And my other guy. Oh, well, at least it didn't kill him, I suppose. Here's a miss. I could hit my friend here. Or just totally whiff. Okay, so here's... I'd like to heal him now, but because I was so nice and give it to my sorcerer, I can't. And if you didn't notice, the poison is actually spreading, so I need to be aware of that. Miss again. Oh, this could be really bad. Oh, well, at least I missed in the right direction. That's a thing. Whatever.
I'll open that vein for you.
Now, I hit 100 on my gauge, so now again, everyone gets a random card.
I will vanquish you.
Yeah, and that burn up all the poison there. Now it's gonna get a double. Yeah, it's probably not the smartest of moves, but it is what it is, I suppose. I'll go ahead and heal him. And then I'm just gonna wait.
Good.
Okay.
They won't see.
Okay, so right here is the one we were looking for. This is the guy with the key. So we need to kill him, get the key, and then we can get to the exit. There's this big ugly guy here. Anytime you see a new enemy, it's always good to see what they do so you can prioritize. Although I guess that's the same as the other thing we already saw. But again, cool details. This is a fountain of health. It will heal all of your characters all at once. So it's very, very good. I am a sorcerer, and it's about time I do some sorcerer and stuff. I am going to go ahead and zap this slime guy.
Time to leave those enemies.
Yeah. Giant slimes are a big pain in the butt, not only because they hit kind of hard, they make little poisons that also, or little slimes that do poison damage. Now, so as the assassin, there is, amongst the Demeo community that I've seen, there is some dissension in coin flip. So I'll go ahead and use this. Basically, you use it on an enemy, and it is an instant kill if you get the coin flip, and it's an instant miss if you don't. So some people say it's way too powerful. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not going to say whether it is. I am going to say, though, that it's very easy to ignore and not use if you think it's cheating. I'll also say that once you do get to the next level, you can spend some of this coin to get new cards. You can also sell cards that you do not want. So there have been some community outcries to nerf coin flip, and I say some people like coin flip, some people don't. It's easy to ignore. If you don't like it, ignore it. So also, it's not a guarantee. So yes, it's very powerful, but it's not like an every time thing. So that's obviously it dies. That's it kills. You flip it.
Heads or tails?
I hit.
Die.
Reason why I got that one, in case you're curious, is because I have this guy zapped. So basically, I was not too concerned with him killing me.
Nothing.
He also has less health.
Don't resist.
So he's stunned and halfway dead. He's going to be a lot easier to kill. So I am going to repair my armor.
This armor will protect you.
I'm also going to go ahead and just get up here to do some business. I am going to zap to keep him stunned. Yeah, and I didn't peek around the corner to see that big spider there. So that could be a problem as well. Perhaps I can do a little freeze. At this point, my goal is to get that key and get out of here.
Monster time.
I am ready.
So my assassin is down, which is not cool. I'm going to set that there. And I'm going to try and get both of these guys. I feel like I missed.
The heavens condemn.
And I should have checked that first because I just tried to stun a spider which cannot be stunned. So I will attack this slime. This is going to end poorly, folks. No two ways about it. So they give you the option to kind of do some stuff if you're downed, but really all you can usually do is just move a few squares or heal yourself if you're able. I don't think it's going to let me do this, but you know what I can do? Look at that. That was some good thinking. I healed myself and everyone. While I was half dead.
Don't resist.
The fiends are moving.
Yeah, so that's bad. That's really bad.
Now we
Okay. Still need that key. So I still have to be attacking. Okay, so my assassin killed him. So he's the one who now has, whoops, sorry about that. He now has the key. So the main goal is he has to get to the exit. It does not matter if the others do. If he gets to the exit, we get to the next level. The other part to that too is if he dies, like for real dies, the key goes to one of your other allies. And if you get to the next level, he gets brought back. So I'm going to move here and heal him. Wait, he's already healed. No, he's not, and he's poisoned. So he's going to die next turn again.
that helped.
If I don't do something about that.
I'll skewer you.
So that is a sack of spiders. So I'm going to still zap, even though it won't do any damage. How much health does he have? Whoop. There we go. Yeah, 14. I'm not going to be able to kill him. Oh, some bad luck rolls with the wizard. Very bad luck. I hit my own guy. So, I have another plan.
Okay. Monsters build.
That sticky web thing means that those characters cannot move, but they still get their turn. So I'm actually going to do this. I mentioned earlier.
Quiet.
I'm going to go sneak. And it's no longer his turn. I'm going to go ahead and repair armor since I lost
Break my armor.
most of it to my friendly fire. Gonna head towards the door. And I'm going to secure my exit with the sorcerer over here.
It is the enemy's turn.
Yeah. He missed, thankfully. All these little guys are probably not going to. Okay. So he is moving undetected, mostly.
I will vanquish you. For the king.
Okay, that's good. He's panicked. And I think no, I don't even have to repair armor. What do you know?
Die, fiend.
Okay. And we're just going to pass over here.
The monsters are daunted.
Monster turn. Clearly they didn't see him, which is good. They're still just hitting his armor. Okay, I am going to kill this. Make a run for it. Now, you may think all you have to do is just keep your character back there or just keep running or whatever, but if any monsters get in this room, even if you have the key, you have to clear them out first. That's why I wanted to kind of give myself some breathing room or separation between everything. Yeah. I'm just going to repair armor because they don't hurt me that much. Okay, we're going to pass again with this sorcerer.
What will the monsters do? It is the enemy's turn.
Okay. Oh, see. Oh, wait. What's happening? Okay. I think we're alright. Maybe. Oh, no. So now, like I said, since there are now 2 creatures in here, it tells me I have to kill those 2 before I can actually exit. So I'm going to get this weaker guy here.
Quick stab.
Oh, and I can see some other stuff coming too. Okay. But of course, he's the one with the key. So I can't do anything there. I will attack this guy. So with my wizard, or sorcerer, rather, I am actually going to go here. And the only thing that can do anything to prevent us from leaving is that. We did get another card. The problem here is that the one with the key is going first, and I need him to go last. Because I have to spend his turn killing things that are in the way. It still says 2. I definitely see this 1, but I'm not seeing the second thing. So maybe that'll enlighten us a bit. Get him closer to the exit. He has no armor, so he definitely needs to repair.
Armor repairs complete.
And yeah, I don't know where that other thing is they're wanting me to kill, but okay. I want to keep. Oh, come on.
Bolt of lightning!
Oh, my turn, which means monster turn.
Yep, he's dead.
Go.
All right. Yep. So I'd definitely say there could be some strategy involved in who picks up the key in turn order.
A sweet
Still
kiss.
says 1. I'm wondering. I'm guessing. Yes, it is this one because he's got the little icon over his head. So let's go ahead.
You dare fight me?
Yeah. So I am going to use a potion on him, just so these dumb things don't kill him. And he really can't do anything. I don't even think you can repair armor. Nope. So I'm going to have to pass with him.
It's the monster's turn.
Okay. We are kind of in a bad way here.
Don't resist. Die.
What will the monsters do next?
Yeah, so this is kind of the dilemma you can get into with the monsters, because now there's yet another one that just came in. I have to deal with these two.
What a juicy jugular.
I may or may not be able to revive my meat shield.
Sweet kiss.
Yep, I am going to be able to. That's
Your
good.
time is not yet come.
And it'd be really nice if I could zap him, and of course I cannot. So we will just go up here because he's still immune.
They cannot break my arm.
See if we can't regroup
The
a little
monsters are
again.
moving.
Yep, and now there's more just going to funnel in, and each one I'm going to have to kill before I can leave.
I come. What a juicy jugular.
Okay,
I'll open the
we've got a
veil for
chance.
you.
We've got a chance. So I'm going to put him here. I'm going to have him zap this. Hopefully he stuns him.
God's snow shafts.
Okay. Ah, okay.
Protect the realm.
Oh boy. Alright, so I have to. We still just have this one.
I will smite you. We have work left to do.
Okay.
You cannot.
And there we go. Can we actually get out? No, it still says it's locked. We've lost the key. The key went to something else. So, yeah, this is the craziness of Demeo, is there's a lot of random stuff. Sometimes it's in your favor, sometimes it's not. This is kind of going to be a lost cause at this point, because the key did go to whatever's back here that killed my assassin, but I don't have the patience to go through all that, and I'm sure nobody wants to sit through that. But anyway, if you do get to there, then there's like a little segment where you can purchase new cards, new powers, some ones you don't want, and then you go on to the next level, which is a little bit harder. You do all that again, and then there's the third level, which is a boss fight, which is pretty insane. But this is Demeo. Definitely recommend it if you've ever been into the D&D type experience, whether it was you were really hardcore into it and fell away. I really wish this would have been something that would have came out like a year ago at the beginning of the pandemic, because this is a really great way to have social time with friends in VR, or just gaming in general. And yeah, there's more content coming, more characters, more adventures, all that good stuff. So I would definitely say to check it out.
A few moments later.
Okay, so again, sorry, part two here, just to show the randomness and magic of Demeo. About 3 turns later, I was able to get to from where we left off. I got this chest, got a couple cards that helped me, got the key back, and we're actually going to, if all goes well, get out of here so you can see what it looks like when you get past a level. There's not a lot of fanfare, but if I can show, here we go. If I can show everything that happens, then I'd like to do that. So main thing here, main difference when you're playing versus on your own versus with other people is, as I mentioned, I chose the assassin at the very beginning. So my card selection here and my actual cards that I purchase are just for the assassin. If you were playing for other people, so say maybe one friend was the sorcerer, the other friend was the fighter guy, they would have their own set of cards. The gold amount is the same, so all 3 of us would have 569, but my spending is independent of theirs. So they would get 500, I get 500. It's not shared. So it's shared when you pick it up, but not shared when you spend it. So I just kind of want to I guess cover that as far as how that works, and the main difference. So there's really a benefit to playing with other people in between rounds, because you get more of a selection of cards to help you on your way, versus when you're playing by yourself, I only get to purchase cards for this one character. So as you probably saw in the other one, the cards are a big part of the game and can really help or hinder you depending on which ones you choose and the order that you choose to do them. These are assassin based ones: poison, curse dagger, the coin flip, the ever popular and loved and hated coin flip. The ballista is something I used in that game. I really like the ballista. There's also something called the behemoth, which is basically, instead of a ballista that shoots arrows, it's like a cannon. I actually used it that last round. You may have seen that. My recommendation is always get health potions. 1, because they're cheap. 2, because there's 0 cost. There's also a potion of, I believe it's called rejuvenation, which heals your entire team instantly, no matter where they are. Similar to that fountain, but you can use it anytime. These are good because not only do they do damage periodically, but they also give the enemies something else to hit besides you. There's also a summon companion where you get little spiders or an elemental that can kind of fight for you for a while. So really just depends which character you're playing, your play style, the other people you're playing with and stuff, as far as what you want or what you don't want. If there's something, again, so maybe you got that dreaded coin flip from a chest or something, you don't want it, you pick it up, you drop it here to sell, and you get more gold to buy things that you actually want to use. So again, nothing really new. Since I was able to make it to this part of the playthrough, I wanted to kind of show it. And then we'll just take a quick look here at the second level.
Mark your arrival with an ominous silence.
You can zoom in. It's very so. Other adventures are coming. I think one's supposed to be in a graveyard. Might be the next one, or something about the Rat King or Rat something or another. But as you can see, between the characters, which there's only 4 now, between the type of environments, the enemy types, this game has a lot of potential, and what is there already is fantastic. It's a great experience when you're alone, but it's super fun when you have friends, people you can kind of joke around with, especially when you start getting those misses and maybe you're hitting each other or something like that. So it can be frustrating. It can be I just we cheered the first time we cleared the level with friends and I. So it's been a long time since I cheered joyfully in a video game, especially online and with friends. So again, Demeo, definitely check it out if you're looking for this type of D&D light experience.